Hey race fans, this is Chet Christner with your Comp Cam's top 5 moments on FloRacing from this past week.
They still haven't been able to put a lap on Joel Myers Jr. Now Madsen sneaks underneath Macedo and takes the lead. Now Madsen has to check up. The slower car of JJ Ringo right in front of him. Here comes Macedo. High-speed straddle the lapper, and on the outside, Macedo takes the lead.
For our number 5, we had Hanford, California's Colorado Speedway wearing the Kings of Thunder 360 feature. 9th place starter Shane Golobic tracked down leader Dominic Scelzi. When Scelzi bobbled out of 4, Golobic was quick to capitalize, grabbing the lead and charging on to victory. Meanwhile, in 410 action with World of Outlaws rain out, Carson Macedo was able to jump into the Tarleton 21X. He would lead the feature up to lap number 13 when Kerry Madsen snuck through down on the inside. Macedo cranked it back up onto cushion and retook the lead out of turn number 2 and went on to win the Dave Helm Classic.
Side by side for the ride into turn number 1. The green flag is out.
From the West Coast, we head east to the fabulous Lincoln Speedway for the traditional season opener for the Pennsylvania Posse. Aaron Bollinger jumped out to the early lead, fresh off his 2nd consecutive track title, but still seeking his first ever icebreaker victory. Freddie Raymer Jr. stalked Bollinger for several laps before hopping to the outside and blowing Bollinger's sideboards off down the back chute. Raymer would lead the rest of the way to win the icebreaker 30. Now it's just 6 more to go to tie his father's 7 icebreaker triumphs.
Go down and White side by side for the lead.
Yeah, Larry White not giving this fight up. Still side by side at the line. White got a chance to cool his tires off. They'll both drift up the racetrack. Shepard trying to get there. Pouch Jr.'s into the top 5. Go down by a car length into turn 3.
Our number 3 takes place at the track your mama warned you about, Cherokee Speedway, where the Short Track Super Series fired off their first of 6 $25,000 minimum to win big block events for this season. 60 cars made their way to Cherokee for the first event, and Sunshine Swing champion Lightning Larry White led until the closing laps when Ryan Godown came to call. 2 would tussle before White would succumb to Godown's persistent pestering, and Ryan would go on to take the $25,000 victory in the Rebel 50. Our number 2 is actually number 13, as in Duck X Productions' Lights Out 13, a gathering of some of the baddest door slammers on the planet at South Georgia Motorsports Park. Superchargers of all shapes and sizes, turbos big enough to inhale small house pets, and plumes of nitrous 15 feet high. It was 4 days of burnouts and hole shots to qualify some extremely stout fields across all categories. Some of the highlights were an RVW, that's Radio versus the World for you non-drag racing folks out there. Ken Cortuccio picked up his first Lights Out championship in a dominating fashion. In Pro 275, Eric Diller grabbed the whole shop, then dangled the donuts and allowed Mo Hall to slip by to victory. The best final of the weekend, however, goes to the No Time Trucks. Grant Guthrie's twin-turbo 65 Chevy C10 garnered attention from day one, and with Pro Mod hotshot Lyle Barnett behind the wheel, went on the warpath and blazed a trail through the competition to reach the final round, where they came face-to-face with Ray Morton and Maximus. Another gorgeous twin-turbo beast that was also being tuned by Pete Harrell. Both trucks would smoke the skins at the start as Pete gave them all the sauce, and at that point it became a pedal fest for the ages as Ray would gain the advantage at the half track, but Lyle would catch him just before the stripe to pick up the win.
Slotting back into the 4th spot is Doral, just as we say that about Vega. Oh, Regan Tyler gets in there as well, as does it. We got a big fire down here at Penrite turn number 3. So that was due to heavy contact there. And Regan Tyler gets out of that car unscathed.
And for our number 1, we once again visit the land of the Long White Cloud and Western Spring Speedway. It was the 3rd and final round of the Pipeline Hose Shop Red Light Racing Series being run under COVID lockdown, and in TQ midget action, some seemingly innocuous contact suddenly took on a whole new light. Scott Baker hopped the tire and spun, which in turn collected Regan Tyler. Tyler was a sitting duck when Jaden Bush punched his rump and darn near baked his beans. Fortunately, Regan was able to quickly exit the flaming 4-stroke. Earlier in the night, during heat race action, perennial contender Michael Pickens was bouncing and jouncing around the outside in a bid for the lead when he capsized the unit. Pickens, however, would bounce back in a midget feature and claim his 100th career victory, while also earning the overall Pipeline Hose Shop Red Light Racing Series titles in both sprints and midgets. Nicely done, Mr. Pickens.